Hello there, my name is Logan, but you can call me Copycat99. Today I'm back with another deck tech. I've got my take on Iden Data Vault in the current Legends of the Force meta. Let's jump into it. So this is, obviously, it's Iden Data Vault. It's a very hard control-y deck, so there's not too many units. I'm not even a believer in Pershing at this current stage. I think Pershing is only good half the time is kind of the problem. You really want to claim and kill their turn 1 unit so you can keep them off the Force if they're playing a Force deck, or prevent them from hitting you in the face if they're an aggressive deck. And decks that aren't one of those two categories are pretty few and far between in the current format. So the curve starts at 3 Resupply Carrier. This is a really neat card in Hard Control in particular because it jumps you from 6 to 7, and then next turn you go to 8, so you can Super Laser Blast, or Snoke, or Walker, which are 3 of the big power plays in the late game. So it's really nice that it allows you to bridge that gap, and you get a 4/5 in space. And like 6 is kind of awkward. Obviously we have Vigilance. We'll get to that at a point, but like having a proactive play if they've got nothing or just one thing that you can pick off with Iden, having something to do, and then it gets you closer towards your bombs, how you can actually close out most matchups, because you aren't milling most decks. It's hard to draw enough Vigilances to mill your opponent quickly in 60 cards due to Data Vault. So you actually do usually want to kill your opponent with bombs in this deck. And then we've got 3 Walker, 3 Snoke. Show off the sweet Galactic Snoke on the top. Yeah, these are pretty self-explanatory. Just real large haymakers for the 8 resource turn if you don't need a board wipe. Snoke obviously makes all of your opponent's stuff much weaker, easier to pick off. He's especially good at putting your opponent's stuff into threshold-based removal, getting something to 3 or less HP so Vigilance can kill it, getting it to 5 or less HP so Takedown can kill it, stuff like that is pretty great. While also just like instantly killing everything with 2 or less health. Makes it where he's pretty annoying, and a lot of decks don't have like a super clean answer if they're not blue and have hard removal. And then Reinforcement Walker, just like a giant statted unit that in slower matchups draws cards, against faster matchups heals you. It's just really great all around. It just does everything a control deck wants from a finisher. Then we've got 2 Avenger, 2 Devastator, and 2 Annihilator to round off the units. I've been really liking 2/2/2 of the Star Destroyers. Initially, when testing, I was playing 3 Devastator, 3 Annihilator, or 3 Devastator, 3 Avenger. But I think making room for the Annihilators is nice for even slower matchups. Being able to like annihilate a crate, sure you take 11, but then you're not dealing with great for the rest of the match, is nice. And just like it beats Relentless. So just these both fill a very similar role of just really big ships to take control of the space lane and being able to push significant damage to kill your opponent in a couple hits. Avenger is like the weakest at the actually killing your opponent, but it comes the earliest. It allows you to stabilize a bit harder. And these all are great targets for OB, which I currently am playing Overwhelming Barrage. It's been okay. It's not like a standout. I think when I get to it, I'll probably talk about it a bit more in detail. But being able to just one-sided board wipe with your ships is nice, so having a density of them is obviously pretty important. So that's all we've got for units. You don't really need anything more. You're either milling your opponent if they're answering your units, or you're just, you're slowly sucking away their soul, and eventually they'll concede. And you don't need to actually kill your opponent if they concede. And we got 2 Restock. Restock, normally, like, Data Vault, it's a bit more important you actually find your 1 copy, so that's a good reason to play 2. But another big factor is it's really good against Kylo. The Legend of the Force Kylo really wants specific upgrades, either Snapshot or Snapshot Reflexes or Shadowed Intentions in their discard pile to try and cheese you, try and kill you with their Kylo. So being able to restock the Snapshot, because you can choose your opponent's discard pile with this. So being able to just play this and then put 4 upgrades from Kylo's discard pile, including a Snapshot on the bottom of his deck, like you're probably not milling the Kylo anyway, so putting him farther away from milling isn't like a huge concern. Being able to do that just like prevents Kylo from ever killing you if you find 1 copy. So it's pretty important you have 2, so you find exactly one copy in control mirrors and against Kylo. So that's why we're on 2. This is supposed to be 3 Power of the Dark Side. This list is currently built for a set of trilogy decks I have, and I have the Power of the Dark Side in another deck because Crushing Blow is a very similar role that I'm okay with in trilogy. But I'm not impressed with Crushing Blow when you can play Power of the Dark Side. But I'm on 3 Power, 3 Merciless Contest. This is... Here, we should flip these face down. They're not Crushing Blows, they're Power of the Dark Sides. But as per usual, I play 6 powers in my hard control decks. It is just so important to be able to claim and kill your opponents turn 1 play. Just shut off their tempo and really slow the game down in your favor. Next up is 3 I Am Your Father. This card has impressed me quite a bit recently. I feel like in most matchups that they choose draw 3, you win the game. Like, that sounds kind of extreme, but it is really, really difficult for you to not draw the answers you need when you are up 3 extra cards in hand. For such an efficient rate, 3 resources is so insane. And then, so if drawing 3 cards wins us the game, they're going to pick the damage mode. So then you just get a really efficient kill on, like, leaders, like Quinlan. This card excels against Quinlan, being able to snipe Quinlan because they're not going to let you draw, because how they beat you is discarding your hand and pashing your face in. So being able to just snipe Quinlan, it's another turn 2 removal. Like, it's really funny because it's even more tempting on turn 2, because it's like, maybe if my turn 1 play sticks, I can get enough damage to kill my opponent. Nope, generally not. Not if you let me draw 3 cards. So it generally is just like the 9th power if you play it on curve. And then off curve, like late game, you either play it and kill a guy, or they let you draw 3, and then you play a second kill spell with your 6 or 7 resources, and you kill the guy anyway, and your opponent feels silly. So it feels pretty good. I think it's at its best in hard control. So, and I've been rocking 3 because I love my consistency. As you'll see, I'm only on a handful of 2-ofs. It's only playing 2 restock forces me to play a handful more 2-ofs than I usually do, but I think I'm fine with it. So far, the list has been performing pretty well, except against the usual bad matchups of Boba Datavault and Quinlan Tarkentown, so I've been pretty happy with it. Next up is 3 Resupply. Green obviously gives us the ramp outlet. I don't like Super Laser Tech because, similar to Pershing, it takes a lot of actions to get the result of ramp. Like, you have to play it, and then your opponent has to have a dude to knock it into, and then you have to take an extra action to knock it into. And, like, sometimes that is enough to cost you some damage or whatever, which is annoying. But Resupply is just, you get what you pay for. You pay 3, it ramps you. And then, you get to accelerate towards your rear bombs. And being able to, that's, like, one of the best ways to beat Quinlan and Boba Datavault is just, like, resupplying on 3, resupply carrier on 6, and just get to the Snokes and Walkers as fast as possible. And just try and stick enough of them that you outvalue your opponent before they get their engines going that end up killing you. So yeah, ramp feels, it's only good in like 50% of the matchups. A lot of matchups, it's still preferred to play a 3-cost kill spell. And resupply, you don't even have to play it on curve. Like, similar to Reinforcement Walker, Resupply Carrier, you can play it on your flip turn on 6, and then play a flip Iden, and then play a 3-cost removal spell. And you still get the similar goal of now I'm into Walker, Snoke, and SLB territory, which is exactly where the control deck wants to be. So it fills a very nice niche, and it works pretty well. I think having some number of ramp and control if you're playing green is the right idea. Then we've got 2 Felt the Dragon. I think 3 felt a little excessive. Not being able to hit anything is really annoying. Like, sometimes, some matchups this just has no target. Some matchups it only has 1 target and you end up resourcing it. So I've been liking 2 a lot more than 3. But I think you still need enough of crate killers, as I call them. Enough of answers to big things. Because getting cheesed by a crate dragon is no fun. So I still like the 2 Fel. 3 Vigilance. I've done control decks on the channel before. I've talked probably more than I have to about this card. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, just, it does so much, even for 6. And just giving you the option to mill out slower decks, giving you the option to heal and kill against fast decks, like, that's enough. Just play 3. It is one of the best cards in control currently, and it's going to be pretty sad when it gets rotated out and not reprinted, because I doubt they'll reprint these. They'll probably do something unique for the double aspect payoffs. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will reprint them in Control. I think Control's pretty dead boss rotation currently anyway. Like, we're losing all of our really efficient removal. Like, we're losing Power of the Dark Side and Merciless Contest. So we're stuck with just Crushing Blow. What is a Control player supposed to do with just Crushing Blow? So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We still got a couple sets for them to print some replacement cards. But, yeah, Vigilance is great. 3 takedown. Very similar. Like, just, it kills just most 4 cost and less cards. It hits a good enough threshold. And there's not a lot of good 4 cost removal, unfortunately. Like, Fell is great if they're playing dudes big enough for Fell to hit. Takedown is great if they're playing small enough dudes for Takedown to hit. But then after Takedown, we're down to Calculated Lethality from Shadows of the Galaxy that I'm on 3 copies of. I hate that I'm playing 3 copies of this card. This card is pretty trash. Like, this is not a very exciting card. But it defeats a unit that costs 3 or less, and then if it had upgrades, you get to put an experience token on a friendly unit for each upgrade that unit had. So, to be completely honest, this is literally just budget takedown that saves your real takedowns. So, like, the general way this deck plays is your opponent plays a 2-drop, you take initiative, and then you play Power of the Dark Side. They're 2 drops dead. They play a 3-drop, you claim, and now you play a 4-cost removal spell. And Calculated Lethality on 4 resources happens to kill their 3-drop. So it does the same thing as Takedown while saving Takedown. So now on 4, they play a 4-cost 4/5. Now you can take down it on 5 resources and save your No Glory. So it's barely good enough. Like, it's really surprising that over 5 sets, it's still the second best 4-cost removal spell next to Takedown. But it's good enough. And, like, I feel like you have to play 6 4-cost removal spells because of Data Vault increasing the variance a little bit. Like, you want to consistently hit 1 to kill their 3-drop. So, yeah, we're rocking 3 Calculated Lethality. Here's the 3 Barrage. I think this is, like, the Flexus slot. Like, I don't think this is set in stone. If I were to cut 1 card from the list, it would probably be Barrage if I wanted to make space for something else, like Agent Callus, if you have a ton of Quinlan in your area and need more card draw. But it's really good on Iden after you flip to, like, kill a guy and then soften another guy up so that Iden can finish it off. It's really, really busted when you entrench your own Iden, which I'd love to do, and then you barrage on it the next turn for 9. And you just, like, kill 3 dudes and heal 3, and then you kill a 4th dude with this, like, 9-power Iden. It feels so sick when that lines up. But other than that, like, it's really efficient versus space decks primarily. I really like it versus Vader 4 and Luke Data Vault, Luke 4 Data Vault. Being able to flip Iden and then just barrage and kill 2 other dudes, because most of their dudes are 3 or less health, and then you heal 2, feels pretty great. It obviously, like, if you top deck it and you randomly have an Avenger in play, you could kill your opponent's whole board. But that doesn't come up too often. But it's felt, like, okay enough. I haven't felt that I've needed to dedicate the slot to anything else currently. Like, I think Quinlan and Boba Data Vault are such bad matchups that it's not worth trying to fix them. Like, I think it's a lot better to just lean into the harder matchup, or the matchups the deck is good against, and just really smash those matchups. And Space Aggro is another, like, slightly shaky one, and I think Barrage makes it quite a bit better, so that's why I'm on 3. I really hate losing to Vader 4. Next up is 3 No Glory, only results. Vanquish with Upside, of course we're playing 3. Prevents you from getting cheesed by spam Ruthless Raiders, also, which is pretty important. So, yeah, we're on it. It's really nice because this, aside from really niche cases where your opponent's unit has a bounty, or they're playing, like, 6-cost Savage Oppress with a negative when defeated ability, that this card just says kill anything. Having that flexibility is nice compared to some of the cheaper removal, which actually which has conditions. And then we got 2 Rivals Fall. Another set of conditional removal. Oh, I'm in the way a little bit. All right, there we go. There's 2 of it there. It's just it's another unconditional removal spell. It's a little bit more expensive, but being able to snipe like a pilot leader or some really big leaders. Some people play Rey, some people play Yoda. Like some of these really big dumb leaders that like, sure you can entrench them, but you need a little bit more answers, especially in Data Vault, than just entrench. So having like just point and kill, that thing's dead, no conditions, even if it's a leader, is nice. I've been liking 2. Like you'll see 1 by the time most leaders are flipping in Data Vault, and like 3 No Glory, 2 Fell, 2 Ravels Fell feels like enough crate killers, enough answers to big units. Because you obviously, sometimes you still catch them with Power or Merciless, or they're small enough for I Am Your Father to kill them, or you barrage on your Walker. But, so yeah, this ratio of removal has felt pretty good to me. And then we've got 6 board wipes, 3 Nebula Ignition, and 3 Super Laser Blasts. Nebula is annoying that it doesn't kill everything sometimes. Like, again, rip control post rotation, because currently there's no good SLB replacement. Nebula is the closest, and Nebula sometimes being dead because your opponent is playing 2/2 shielded units, because shielded units are very good. It's really sad, but like, I'm normally pretty low on Nebula Ignition. It's really expensive for a conditional board wipe, but being on Data Vault, like, you have to draw 1 or 2 board wipes in a lot of matchups. So being able to play the full 6 and consistently find at least 1 is really nice, compared to like blue-yellow control, which has Bounty Hunter Crew, which can pick up SLB, which has Evacuate, which has other options. I think you really need to play the 6 if you want to beat like these really grindy mid-range decks like Hantu Blue, just playing Kiadis and drawing a ton of cards and spamming the board. You got to be able to wipe it multiple times. And then to finish off the deck, 3 Entrenched and 3 Perilous Position. I don't know. I see some people cutting down on Entrenched, but I really feel bad when people do that. Like, the games I flip Iden, I entrench her, and they don't answer it. I just win on the spot. Like, it feels like. It's such a strong play. Sure, people have upgrade hate, yes, but like, if they're gonna hold a disabling Fang Fighter for your Entrenched, they're not holding a better card. And you can still not play the Entrenched if you're worried about upgrade hate. You can just resource it. So, I still really like 3 Entrenched. It's really, really efficient answer to dudes when you have no units. And having the extra flexibility of making your Iden kind of a beast just really solidifies the slot. It makes me want to play 3. And then Perilous Position. Perilous Position is nice when you can't Rivals Fall a leader and you just want to make it a little smaller or save some damage. It also is an answer to Lurking Typhanum. Some of those are running around, especially in Vader 4. So having this on top of No Glory is a nice answer. But it's just an overall okay card. This is another card that, like, if you're cut Perilous down to 2 or even 1, like, I could see cutting the Perilous down. It used to be, it used to feel a lot better than it does now. It feels relatively weak in the current environment, but I think it's still good enough to justify a couple slots. And again, I like my consistency, so I'm still on the 3. So that is all for the deck. I think that's all I've got. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out, it helps grow the channel, and it makes YouTube like me more. That's all for me. I'll see you in the next video.